Thanks, Hugh, and welcome to Look East. On the programme tonight, on board the UK's £200 million polar research ship as it docks at its home port. First tonight, a rare opportunity to get on board one of the most advanced research ships in the world. You might expect the Sir David Attenborough to be found exploring the Arctic or Antarctic, but today the £200 million ship was docked at its home port of Harwich in Essex, with scientists keen to show exactly what it can do. This from Ian Balmer.
5 days to go before the Sir David Attenborough leaves Harwich, bound for the Antarctic on only its second major voyage. Captain Will Watley is in command.
It's a real game changer for Antarctic science, and the capability that the ship brings to science in the polar regions is absolutely immense, and it's designed to be able to do so for the next 3 or 4 decades.
The ship is a floating laboratory, home to up to 60 scientists with 13 indoor labs and space for another 17 in shipping containers. The Sir David Attenborough won't be back in Essex for months, so the crew were busy loading everything they need for a long voyage. Harwich is the UK home port for the RRS Sir David Attenborough. They chose it because it's near to the British Antarctic Survey headquarters in Cambridge, and it's easy to transfer samples and equipment. As the COP27 climate conference draws to a close in Egypt, governments are trying to find ways to slow climate change. But the Sir David Attenborough is out there looking for the telltale signs in the ice, in the air and in the sea.
A key goal of many of the features of this ship are measuring those fundamental properties of the ocean that reflect changes in our climate. So what we're interested in is the saltiness, salinity of the water, the temperature of the water, the amount of oxygen in it, and most importantly, the amount of carbon dioxide in it.
They'll reach the South Atlantic by mid-December, and the Sir David Attenborough won't return to the UK until May next year. Ian Balmer, BBC Look East, Harwich.
Some breaking news tonight. People living at the top of a block of flats in Ipswich have been evacuated due to fire safety concerns. The top 3 floors of Cardinal Lofts are now empty to ensure the safety of residents in case of fire. The notice covers 15 apartments and does not impact the rest of the property. Temporary accommodation has been provided for those affected. Suffolk's Police and Crime Commissioner has apologised after the personal details of sexual abuse victims appeared online. Names and addresses of victims could be accessed briefly on Suffolk Police's website. The force is investigating the breach. Suffolk Rape Crisis warned the leak could put women at risk. Business leaders in the region are calling on the Chancellor to honour the previous government's promise to create a series of investment zones across the region. A number of sites have been put forward, including this one in central Lowestoft. The last government wanted investment zones to have tax breaks and generous planning rules to encourage new business.
We know we're entering a recession. We know there will be cuts to public services, public expenditure. So it's all the more important that businesses are incentivised and given that extra boost to help them grow, create new jobs, and to carry on with their investment plans.
Our build-up to BBC Children in Need has begun, with the big day just 3 days away. Last year you raised £51 million. Among the projects to benefit, the Little Pals parent and toddler group at Jaywick in Essex. Sean Peel has been talking to some of the mums at a time when the cost of living is on everybody's mind.
We're in what class as a vulnerable area, so obviously we offer the toddler group for the vulnerable families. So obviously a lot of our families don't drive, so it's on their doorstep. We're a charity-run nursery, so you know it's just as important for all our parents to access all the groups as best they can.
The cost of living is just going to be extortionate for everybody, but we are definitely going to be the area that feels it the most, I think. I've had to draw back quite a lot. But obviously trying not to take stuff away from them. I'd rather go without than them go without. Does that make sense? I don't get a lot of adult conversation, so it's so nice to come to group to have adults that be the same. Does that make sense? Like, you can open up and just be you and not have to worry about being a parent 24/7. So it's really lovely. This area definitely needs it. We don't get a lot. We don't get a lot of support. We definitely are one of the most deprived areas. So it's lovely to have these groups be running, because I think a lot of parents sit at home and think, oh, what should I do? And they just don't go out then. So it is lovely to have them running.
If these opportunities weren't here, children wouldn't socialise and parents and grandparents wouldn't have an opportunity to make friends, and they'll go out and they'll do things outside of the group. So that reduces some of that loneliness that can come from being a young parent, a new parent. So these types of group activities they have here at Little Pals is really important for families.
Parents there at Little Pals in Jaywick. Children in Need is on Friday. If you're doing something special to raise money, do let us know. You can get in touch on social media or by emailing us. OK, that's it. We'll have another update in breakfast from 6:30. I'll leave you with Alex and the weather. Good night.
Hello, unsettled and blustery conditions continuing for the rest of the week. Overnight tonight we could see some sharp showers out there. There will be some dry weather in between with some clear spells, and that will allow some temperatures to drop to around 4 or 5 degrees. So we start the day tomorrow on a bit of a chilly note. We've still got low pressure close by. This weather feature bringing us some showers to start with, and then some drier weather following on behind with some sunshine. Still quite blustery with a brisk southerly wind, and then a lot of dry weather to come for the afternoon with some sunshine. Temperatures getting to around 11 or 12 degrees. This rain, a sign of things to come. The winds picking up tomorrow night with some heavy rain on the forecast. Much of that out the way for Thursday. Could still be a few showers around, but also some sunshine.